Hey y'all, it is yours truly, Neil Fosimone, coming back at you with another short. I don't know what you see in this song. You may be seeing this on Instagram, TikTok, whatever it may be. YouTube Shorts. You getting your word, and you gonna get your daily bread. Now, don't scroll past me now. You don't gotta do all that. Today, I wanted to read from Psalm chapter 23, verse 4. So it kicks off saying, "He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For you are with me, your rod and your staff, they comfort me." So y'all, the valley of shadow of death. So when he says, yeah, though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, this is what David is saying. The valley represents struggles, the hardships, whatever you're going through in this time being. That's what the valley represents. And notice when David says walk through, he never said stay in or live in it. See, sometimes when we come to these hard seasons where, you're wondering, God, what is this all for? You ever wondered that? You know what I mean? When you're going through those seasons, you be like, God, what is this all for? And what God does, he doesn't promise to remove the valley immediately. He doesn't promise to take it out, because why would he remove something that he did, that he put you in? But what God promises is that he will my fault. Okay. What God promises is that he will walk with us through that valley. He will never leave us alone, and he will be there to comfort us, because you see where it says your rod and your staff comfort me. And what rod and staff mean, thy rod and thy staff, rod means protection from danger, and staff means guidance, correction, and pulling sheep back when they have wandered. I gotta get used to looking at the camera. Like, I be looking at the screen, but I look at the camera. So guys, when you're stuck in those, type of seasons, the valley of shadow of death, that represents fear. When David says that represents fear. What if things don't work, and what if I fail? You know what I mean? And what I fear no evil means, it's not saying bad things won't happen, but fear will never get the final say. Don't think when, Christ put you in a certain season that he's not going to take you out of it. I never seen God bring somebody to something and leave them in it. He wouldn't be a good father then. But we got to understand, just like David, he had peace in this valley of shadow of death. And how he had peace in this valley of shadow of death? Because he knew that God's presence was with him still. It was with him still. And that's how he was able to be comforted when it says, your staff, they comfort me. So I promise you, if you ever feel like you're somewhere and you're just stuck, no, he will never leave you stuck. Only thing God tries to do when he puts us in these certain, situations or seasons, he tries to grow us or change us mentally and physically. And you may not see that. That's why he has that verse that says, you do not understand now, but you will later. We never gonna understand right then and there. But we always understand later when God gets the glory out of everything. It's a lot of things I didn't understand, like a lot, even now that I don't understand. Like, that's basically saying that us as Christ believers, even you as a Christ believer, we're going to have troubles. We're not just people that's, perfect or anything like that. Christ is the only perfect man that walked this earth. We're not going to be perfect, and we're not going to have downsides. We're not going to have times when we're unstable. We're going to have times when we're unstable. We're going to feel sad. We're going to feel depressed. We're not just perfect. But that's why we have Christ. That's why we rely on God, because He'll be there to comfort us in our moments of distress or when we're walking through the valley of shadow of death. And unfortunately, that was a bar. But this is why we always trust God.